Hi, everybody. Don Giannatti, lighting-essentials.com, project52pros.com. Um, I got an idea. This is an assignment I give the Project 52 Pro people. Um, I've given it about 3 times over the last 5, 6 years, and I need to do it more because it's a really fascinating way to think about photography, think about your photography, what you're trying to do, how you're putting it together. We learn in our mind, we learn, the quote, the rules, which have a sort of tenuous relationship with rules of pretty much any kind, but especially photography. But I've got my own way of shooting, and I think that many times you get your own way of shooting, and you become proficient at it, and that's really good. Now, what I want you to do is going to go totally against everything that you do or that you know to be true. And what I want you to do is I want you to make a bad photograph. I want you to make a really bad photograph. Now, I'm not talking about, underexposure. So don't do that. You can't underexpose. That's an intentional technical foul, so to speak. You can't be sloppy with your focus. That doesn't necessarily make a bad photograph. It's just an unfocused photograph. So that's another technical foul. You can't do that. You can't just not look through the camera and hold it up and wave it around. That's too easy. This has got to be something you seriously do. I want you to look through the viewfinder. I want you to expose it correctly. I want you to focus correctly. And I want the outcome to be a really bad photograph. Now, if you're thinking, oh, gee, Don, that's really easy. You've obviously never done this assignment before. Let me give you a little heads up of what happens. You look through the viewfinder and you see your subject, and then you start asking yourself, how can I make it worse? I could add some tangents over here. I could make this tree limb grow out of their head. What did you just do? You just recalled a good, solid compositional rule for you to break. I'll tilt the horizon just a little bit. Okay, so if tilting the horizon just a little bit is going to make the image wrong, and it probably would, then you're going to remember that the next time you're making images the right way, and your tilt is just a little off. You've already established that that's a wrong thing to do, and you did it yourself by doing this very simple exercise. The more seriously you take this exercise, the more you'll get out of it. And believe me when I tell you, you'll get a lot out of it. Whether it's a subject, a friend of yours, you want to go do a portrait, do a bad portrait. Because while you're doing a bad portrait, you're going to have to remind yourself what makes it a good portrait, aren't you? It's going to have to be a part of it. We got to know what's good to make it bad. So I want you to make it bad, terrible even. It's harder than you think. It really is. And no, if you run down, you run down to the farm and take a picture of nothingness and everything, it's not quite a technical foul, but that's a choice of subject matter that's already by itself boring and uninteresting. So don't do that either. Find something interesting. If there's a favorite landscape that you want to do, go do it. Badly. Badly. Portrait of a friend, take that friend out. Take a really bad portrait of them. But you're going to find out it's just harder than you think it is. Because you're going to trigger every belief, every part of your style, every part of your aesthetic is going to be triggered so that you can go against it. And what that does is it reinforces it. If you do this little exercise over the weekend, over the next couple of days, and it helps you or doesn't help you, let me know down in the comments here. Let me know that you did it. Let me know what you did. Let me know why you don't think it worked. Oh, and you can post a picture. I think you can post a photograph in YouTube. I don't know. Maybe you can. If you can't, post a link to the photograph. I'll go look at it. I'll go I'll go take a look. So here's the rules again. You can't purposely under or overexpose. You can't purposely choose a subject that's a dud to begin with. You can't unfocus or use sloppy focus, and you can't just wave the camera in the air willy-nilly. Okay? And yes, for those of you who are wondering, you don't have to rewind the tape. I did say willy-nilly. So on that, I'm out of here because I can't think of any more stupid metaphors. Try it. Make a really bad photograph. You'll be glad you did. Or something. See you next time.